The difference between winners and losers. One word: control. Remember this line, because everything you want in life, everything you dream of, everything you imagine yourself becoming, it all comes down to one skill, one trait, one internal force that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Self-control. Not talent, not money, not opportunity, not luck. Self-control. The power to say no when your impulses scream yes. The discipline to do what you must, even when you don't feel like it. The strength to walk the harder path when the easy one is calling your name. Most people fail not because they're not capable, not because they're not smart enough, not because they're unlucky. They fail because they don't have control over themselves. And if you stay with me for the next few minutes, I will show you how self-control is the root of every success story, and the silent killer behind almost every failure. Self-control. People think failure happens suddenly. They think it shows up out of nowhere: losing a job, losing a relationship, losing stability, losing direction. But failure isn't an explosion. It's erosion. A slow, silent, invisible decline caused by tiny decisions made without control. You don't become undisciplined overnight. You become undisciplined by giving in to yourself one small moment at a time. You tell yourself, "I'll do it later. I deserve a break. It's not a big deal. I'll start tomorrow." And every tomorrow becomes another tomorrow. And suddenly months pass, and then years, and your dreams are still in the same place. Success works the same way, but in the opposite direction. It's built in the small moments, the moments where most people give in, but winners don't. Winners don't rely on motivation. They rely on self-control. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They don't need the perfect circumstances. They don't seek shortcuts. They seek mastery. And mastery demands control over your impulses, your emotions, and your time. Here's a truth most people try to avoid. Your life right now is the result of the things you've been unable to control. If your health is bad, it's not because of a curse, it's because you couldn't control what you ate, how much you moved, or how well you rested. If your relationships fall apart, it's not because the world is cruel, it's because you couldn't control your reactions, your anger, your ego, or your fears. If your career is stuck, it's not because the world is unfair, it's because you couldn't control your procrastination, your habits, or your consistency. People who lack self-control always blame the outside world. People who master self-control always look within. You can't control the weather, the economy, or other people's behavior, but you can control your choices, your habits, your reactions, and your mindset. And that is where success is built. Think about the most successful people you admire: athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists, innovators, millionaires. What do they all have in common? Not intelligence, not creativity, not luck. Self-control. The ability to stay focused when others get distracted. The ability to work when others are sleeping. The ability to resist temptation when others indulge. The ability to stay calm when others panic. The ability to think long-term when others seek short-term pleasure. Self-control is the difference between finishing the race and quitting halfway. It's the difference between building a legacy and wasting your potential. It's the difference between a person who says, "I wish," and a person who says, "I will." Every day, you are fighting a silent war, not against the world, but against yourself. Your impulses want comfort. Your impulses want pleasure. Your impulses want the easy way out. Your impulses tell you, eat the junk food, skip the workout, scroll a little longer, spend the money. Don't try today. Stay where you are. But comfort is a trap. Ease is a trap. Impulses are traps. Listen to them long enough, and they will shape your life into something you do not want. Your impulses always want what feels good now, not what is good later. And this is where most people lose. Most people chase pleasure. Winners chase purpose. Most people react. Winners respond. Most people break their promises to themselves. Winners keep theirs, especially when it hurts. The stronger your self-control becomes, the weaker your impulses get. The weaker your self-control becomes, the louder your impulses grow. You have to decide which voice is going to shape your life. Time is another thing most people do not control. People say time is money. Wrong. Time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and earn it back. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. Most people don't fail because of lack of talent. They failed because they never learned how to control their time. They let distractions steal their hours. They let comfort steal their days. They let procrastination steal their dreams. How many hours have you wasted this year scrolling when you could have been building? How many hours disappeared into Netflix, gossip, arguments, meaningless routines, while your goals waited for you to finally show up? You don't need more time. You need to control the time you already have. Winners treat time like a weapon. Losers treat it like a toy. The difference between where you are right now and where you want to be lies in how you're spending your hours. And then there's emotional control, the hardest one of all, because emotions can feel stronger than logic. Anger, fear, jealousy, insecurity, doubt, stress. If your emotions control you, your life becomes chaos. If you control your emotions, your life gains direction. Winners don't let emotions dictate their actions. They feel everything, but they don't obey everything. They still get angry, but they don't react with anger. They feel fear, but they don't run from it. They feel insecure, but they don't stop working. They feel overwhelmed, but they don't give up. Emotional self-control is maturity. It's wisdom. It's power. Your emotions should be indicators, not decision-makers. Now you might be wondering, if self-control is so powerful, why do most people fail to develop it? Because self-control is uncomfortable. It requires resisting the easy things and embracing the difficult things. It demands sacrifice, patience, and long-term thinking. Most people are addicted to comfort. Most people are slaves to their impulses. Most people want the benefits of success without the discipline that success requires. Everyone says they want to be successful until they see the price. Success demands early mornings. Success demands late nights. Success demands saying no to distractions. Success demands choosing growth over comfort. Success demands consistency long after motivation dies. Most people don't fail at life, they quit long before they ever start winning. But here's the good news. Self-control is a skill, not a gift, not a personality trait, not something you're born with. A skill, which means you can train it, strengthen it, and master it. Every time you resist temptation, you build strength. Every time you delay gratification, you build power. Every time you stay consistent, you build momentum. And momentum is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. Your future is hidden inside your daily self-control. Not in your intentions, not in your dreams, not in the vision you hold in your heart, but in what you do and what you refuse to do every single day. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. Imagine two versions of yourself. The first version gives in to impulses, hits snooze, scrolls endlessly, eats without thinking, reacts emotionally, skips work, avoids challenges, procrastinates. This version becomes weaker, more frustrated, more stuck, more resentful, more hopeless. The second version practices self-control. This version wakes up with purpose, controls their morning instead of letting the morning control them, works even when they don't feel like it, eats with intention, speaks with awareness, tracks their time, keeps promises, pushes limits, stays consistent. This version becomes stronger, more confident, more respected, more focused, more disciplined, more fulfilled. The question is simple: which version will you choose to become? Because the only difference between these two versions is self-control. The most dangerous person in the world isn't the strongest, the richest, or the smartest. It's the person who has mastered themselves. When you control yourself, you control your habits. When you control your habits, you control your results. When you control your results, you control your life. Self-control is the root of all greatness. It is the foundation of success, the engine of discipline, the shield against chaos, and the weapon against distraction. When you master it, you don't just survive life, you shape it. Now think about your own life. Where have you been losing control? Food, sleep, your phone, your time, your emotions, your reactions. Wherever the weakness is, that's where your transformation begins. Self-control in one area improves every area. When you control what you eat, you gain confidence. When you control your time, you gain clarity. When you control your temper, you gain respect. When you control your habits, you gain progress. When you control your emotions, you gain peace. Put all of this together, and you gain a new life. Most people fail because they're too busy fighting external battles instead of internal ones. They blame the world, the economy, their past, their parents, circumstances, everything except the one thing they actually have power over: themselves. The real enemy is inside. The real war is inside. And the moment you win that war, life outside becomes easier. Your life will not change because you wish it to. It will not change because you dream it to. It will not change because you're inspired for a moment. Your life will change when you take control of yourself. Your habits, your discipline, your impulses, your focus, your emotions. The person who controls nothing about themselves will achieve nothing meaningful. But the person who controls their mind, their habits, and their emotions becomes unstoppable. Most people fail because they never master themselves. Don't be most people. Be the exception. Be the one who decides, not hopes, not wishes, not dreams, decides to take control of their life. Because success is not found in wishful thinking. It is earned through self-control. And the moment you master it, nothing can stop you.